Welcome back to Conversations with Marjan and Desiree.
Hello everyone, welcome back.
In this video series, Minding Your Mind, Finding Your Peace, we will mostly focus on the fact that it's never the situation that is causing stress, anxiety, sadness, disappointment. It's really the way how you look at the situation, the way how you explain it to yourself, the story that happens in your mind. That is like glasses that tint the situation according to the color that you make it to be. So in this series, we look at those, and it could be in a positive or negative way, but obviously we look at those that cause a negative experience for you.
Yeah. Can I give you an example, Desiree?
Yes, please, Marjan, always.
So a few years ago, I came back from a business trip, and as I was walking through the kitchen to the living room, I shouted out to my husband, like, "Hi, honey, I'm home." And I got no reply. So in a moment, like you explained in a previous video, in one instant, all my happy expectations, looking forward to seeing him, turned to sour expectations, to unhappy ones. The doubt started to creep in. Oh, something's happened, something's wrong. I've done something wrong. And then also the flip side of it, he doesn't care about me. He doesn't appreciate me. Why doesn't he talk to me? So I know I do the work for years now, and I know I will write it down when I feel something like that, and I will do the work on it later on. But I was just wondering how I could do it in that moment. Do you have a suggestion how I could change this state in that instant that I walk into the door?
Yeah, the thing what happens there is those thoughts, they create a reaction in you, right? And the reaction, we call it the crazy eight. So what you just explained is you stepped in and then you didn't get a response. So some people first lash out outwards or maybe lash out inwards. It's like if you imagine a whip in your hand and you sweep it forward, right? That would be lashing outwards. That would be when you start to think, my husband doesn't like me, he's not responding, he's not respecting me, all sorts of things where you blame the other person for your bad feeling. This is when you whip the whip forward, right? That gets tiresome or there's no response, then often the whip comes back where you hit yourself with it. And that is when self-doubt kicks in, when you think, maybe I said something wrong, maybe I'm not lovable anymore, things like this where you kind of blame and shame yourself. And then very often when you allow a little bit more time, the whip goes out again because it's a little uncomfortable to stay in one of those spaces for too long. Yeah. And that's what happens then.
Okay. So and how would you deal with that then if you feel, I can do the work on it, but that I don't have an opportunity in that situation then. So how would you get out of that whipping situation?
Exactly. Yeah. So what happens is if you are in that stressful situation, the first thing your body does, it creates adrenaline and maybe other hormones, that are not happy hormones. So always the first thing you need to manage the body before you can actually get to the mind. That's always the one that you can control better, and that influences the other side. We spoke last time about the connection. So the first thing is to get rid of the adrenaline of stress and anger and all of those things. It's a fight and flight hormone, so you need to move. And obviously you can whip the other person more, and that is a movement, we can become physical, but it's actually much better if you start to shake your body, if you jump, if you can go for a stiff walk, just step right back out again, close the door, go for a quick walk to get rid of the adrenaline and try again to enter the house. At a work situation, for instance, it's good. I sometimes, when I haven't at the situation, I find the toilet, I close the door, and I'm just going to shake my hands or jump, whatever I can do in that small space, just to work through the adrenaline. And then I can come back to manage my mind through the work.
Super, thank you. That's a great suggestion. Yeah. The work did help me though, because I did find when I did the work on it, looking at the situation, feeling what I felt with and without the thought. And in the turnarounds, I noticed some interesting things, right? Because if I looked only at he doesn't care about me, all the blame goes outward. I want him to solve my emotional state. But turning it around to myself, for instance, I don't care about me. I could find that because I was hanging on to those thoughts so much, wanting something, that I was stressing myself out, having expectations that were not met. So that was interesting to see. The other turnaround that I found was I don't care about him. And that was an eye-opener too, because as soon as I walked into the living room, I saw he was working. He was sitting there with his laptop and he was very concentrated. And when he's so concentrated, then, you know, he doesn't answer. And also I didn't respect him because I just barged in and started babbling, right? So I did not have any respect for him. And the other turnaround, by the way, that he does care about me. That's also true, because as soon as he was finished, he took my suitcase and he took it upstairs. And in general, in my life, I can definitely find that. So that was interesting to notice those
I love those turnarounds.
Yeah, and for a different situation in the future, that's always good to remember that. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, great.
If you want more of these suggestions or do the work with us or have more insight in your behavior, then please come and join us for our next online workshop. It's called From Fighting to Forgiving, How to Improve Your Relationships. And this is about any kind, right? Not just your spouse, but also kids, work colleagues, friends, family. So if you're interested in that, just drop us a line or give us a quick call and we'll sign you up from the 24th of March until the 7th of April, 3 Wednesdays from 7 till 8:30 in the evening. And we're really looking forward to seeing you there. So drop us a line.
Yes, hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.